Listen to her right now.
Be intentional in your conversations. You be the one that does the work, that prepares their heart and helps them come to follow God.
Yeah.
They don't, as I'm trying to walk in, they're like, boo.
Because so often I think that we go into friendships because they just happened to us.
Yeah.
I marry you again. Just for these cookies. If you don't hear anything else that we've talked about, I want you to hear this right here. What she's saying and what she's about to say. Listen, right here. Keep going. When you become a Christian, you now have a mission. And so that mission is to help other people know Jesus. My what?
You're Italian, Nona.
What is that? What's up, y'all? Welcome to 2026 Q&A with L&J. I'm Joshua.
I'm Leanna.
And we are going to be answering some questions that we have gotten from you guys from our time working with young people. And today our main question is going to be from somebody who asked this, that they're afraid that their non-Christians are going to pull them away from God. And so that's going to be our main question we're going to ask. But we're also going to be baking something that is my favorite treat. I asked my wife, what should we make? And she said something, and I was so excited because this is my favorite thing that she makes. If I had anything, this would be it. And so we'll show you that at the end. And then we have a mystery question that we're going to be answering at the very end of the show in regards to friends who don't follow Jesus. Mm-hmm. But while we're baking this, we're going to talk about why do I feel stronger in my faith with some people than I do around other people. So that'll be our question we're doing while we're baking. But first, coffee.
Yeah.
Let's get some.
Mine has to be decaf because I already had that matcha. That was a bad choice.
Did you just have the matcha right now?
Yeah.
Which cup do you want?
It has 50 milligrams of caffeine, you guys.
What's gonna happen?
Shoot! I'll see you at 3 a.m.
Not me.
But I have a Kindle, so my Kindle and I will see each other at 3 a.m. Put it in the comments.
I'll be waking up an hour after you
to get up to go be with the Lord. Put it in the comments if you want to be my book bestie and we can tandem read books together.
She was talking to one of our young adults and they were flipping out about these books they were reading. I don't understand it. I rarely read fiction. Mainly I just read the Bible and stuff, but I'm just kidding. What cup do you want?
Heck of read fiction.
What cup do you
so
want?
much fiction.
Winnie the Pooh? Excellent.
Fiction girly here. Winnie the Pooh, yes, because it's my favorite. All right, this is also an experiment, you guys, because I can't actually remember the ratios for this recipe, so I'm kind of just like feeling it out as I go. Let's see how it turns out. That might have been way too much coconut oil. I don't know. Hopefully they'll be good. Yeah, that's probably good. Nah, one more. You could always use like one. Just you gotta make them nice and sweet. Thank you, maple syrup. You guys, I started making these cookies.
Don't forget the salt.
I didn't. I have it. When the last 2 times I made these for Josh, I forgot the salt. And salt matters, guys. Let's just...
That'll preach.
You guys ever wonder why vanilla smells so good and tastes so bad, but it tastes good in the things that it goes in? Like, as a kid, I was fooled. I was duped. Making cookies with my granny. I always make cookies with my granny. My granny passed away just a few days after Christmas. And she's with Jesus, and I miss her. But we always used to make cookies together. And I remember the first time I tried vanilla, thinking it would taste as good as it smells. It did not, and I was sorely disappointed. That was quite unfortunate. Oh, coffee. The color isn't right. It's just need a little bit more.
What? It's almost white.
Coffee's a dessert for me.
It is, but it's not a candy.
It's not a what?
Candy.
And I usually do like half the bag. This is really lovely. Just wink at the camera. That's weird.
All right, so
What if I do weird things? What if I'm just a weird things person?
I like weird things, people. Especially when they're you. When all of them are you.
And Ari.
All of our kids are strange in their own ways. Okay, so the question is, why do I seem like my faith is stronger around some people?
I'm so sorry. I forgot these ones. You don't really. Got it.
Why do I feel stronger around some people than other people? I actually think that's the way God designed us, is that people will impact you.
I'm like your Italian Nonna.
Excuse me? My what?
Your Italian Nonna.
What is that?
Your Italian grandma.
Is that what they call them? Nona? Where'd you get that from?
Don't fact check me.
Where'd you get that from?
Maybe it's Noni.
Where'd you get that from?
Julian.
All right, I'll take it. Yeah, so God made it so that we were made to be in relationship with other people. And part of the reason why it's that way is because people have the ability to build you up. But the flip side is that they can tear you down. So I guess like a simpler version is people have the ability to influence people, because just like anything, God's intention is it for it to be good. So one of your the favorite stories that you tell is about when you ran for that CrossFit thing.
Yeah.
Talk about that, because I think that's a perfect example.
So I had a friend invite me to join a CrossFit program with her. I hadn't really ever worked out, which is sad. I didn't start getting serious about working out until I hit my 30s. And I showed up, and it was a CrossFit class. And I was like, everybody there was ripped. Everybody there had been working out a really long time. And there's me over here that's like, I haven't been in the gym since it was required of me in high school. So we start doing the warm up, we're doing all these things, and I'm dead, right? Just dead. And this goes on for a while. So then I'm like, oh, this is not the warm up, this is the actual class. That's why it's so hard. And they're like, all right, guys, take 5. We're gonna start the workout now. And guys, I was dead. That's how bad this class was, dead. And I was like, that was the warm up? And did you spray this?
No.
Of course not. And I was like, that was the warm up? I'm dead. So it was such a hard class. So the next day that I went with her, they were like, all right, guys, we got a really easy warm up today. And I'm like, oh, thank God, because the warm up last class killed me. And they're like, we're just going to run a quick mile, okay? Keep a steady pace. And let's keep it under however many minutes they said, which was obviously for people that run all the time and not me. And I was like, run a quick mile.
Keep it under an hour.
Yeah, that was gonna be a problem for me. I was pushing like a 27-minute mile. Like, these people are knocking it out in 7, you know? So I'm like, okay, what? So I mean, you guys, it was so embarrassing. Everybody's just like flying past me.
Don't you say you left. Come on!
And I'm going like, oh gosh, this is cardiac arrest. Like, I'm dead on this trail over here. And everybody had finished. And I'm talking, they were just standing around, finished. And I haven't even come around the corner, but they can't start the workout until everybody from the class is there. So they're just waiting for me. The only thing worse is when somebody is waiting for you to get out of the bathroom and they're just standing outside the door. Like, that's the only thing that's worse. And
It was a good
I know, I came around the corner and I'm like, oh, just kill me. Not only was I dying, like, you know where like you can taste blood in your mouth from running? It was that, but also I just was dying of embarrassment. And I thought, I just don't actually think I can finish. So I literally slowed to a walk because I couldn't do it. And I was just basically signaling like, go on without me, I quit. And all these people that don't know me, mind you, it's my second time in the class. They come around me and they surround me and they're like, you can do this. You've got this. You can finish. Come on, let's jog the rest together. Come on. And they start like running next to me. And I don't know, you guys, it was like this wind underneath me, like this boost of adrenaline and this energy. And then all of a sudden it was like the last little bit of the mile. There's these people standing next to me and they're like, sprint it, give it everything you've got. And I sprinted that last end of the mile. But I'm telling you this because that is such a picture of being around people that are gonna call you higher and call you to do something that you yourself think that you can't do.
Yeah.
This is actually one of the reasons I love being in church community, is because that is exactly what God designed it to do. There is a scripture in Hebrews that says we spur each other on in our faith. And it's one of the reasons it says to not forsake the gathering, because we gather together and then we spur each other on in our faith. And I think at its basis, the reason we feel stronger with other people that are following God is because that is specifically how God designed relationship with humans to work with each other. So
it's actually very important that who you're around is going to push you forward, is going to build you up.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you're going to do. You're never going to be so strong that the people that you're around don't have some kind of push on you. Now, you don't have to give in. You can be strong enough not to give in, but there's going to be a push.
yeah, but everybody feels a little bit.
Yeah.
Even the person who says the most, like, I don't care what people think. Somewhere inside, they care.
They care. And so, so it just matters who you put around you, because that's the way God designed it. So, that was a great story.
I was going to say maybe the only exception to that is currently the president of the United States. I do not think Trump cares one bit.
He doesn't give a flying flip about what anybody thinks. Okay, so.
Oh, I was going to say too, in thinking about the story that I said, Josh saying like there's nobody that's going to be completely unaffected by other people. That story could have been so different if all of those people surrounded me and they're like,
you suck!
No. If they're like, just go home. It's okay, just quit. If they come up beside me and they're like, this isn't for you, let's find you a different gym.
Get off the field!
Yeah, as I'm trying to walk in, they're like, boo, right? That would have been so different. But honestly, seriously, as you're thinking about the people that you're partnering your life with, how often do we line our lives with people that are like that, that are literally not helping us? They are even encouraging us to do the thing that doesn't help us, that doesn't help us win, that doesn't help us finish, that doesn't help us honor God, whatever it is. And we choose to surround ourselves with those people instead of the people that are going to spur us on. And sometimes I think we choose that because the people that stood around me and spurred me on, I still had to run. I still had to finish. I still had to do something that's difficult. And so I would say don't draw away from people that are going to spur you on just because they challenge you and they make you think about the things that you're doing. And maybe sometimes they say the truth and it hurts. Those are still the type of friends that you want to have.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we got these cookies. We're going to throw them in the oven, and then we're going to talk about our main question over there at our table. And then once that's done, we will do the mystery question at the end. So let's head over. So the cookies are in the oven, and we are going to be hanging out here talking with you guys about this big question of can I have non-Christian friends? And this actually was brought up in our own young adults ministry. Somebody asked this question, can I have non-Christian friends? Because they were afraid that they were going to get pulled away from their faith because of it. And so I figured other people are asking this question too. Can you have non-Christian friends? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I actually answered this in our young adult service when it was asked. And something that I've always told teenagers is a good indicator of whether or not you can keep non-Christian friends in your life. Because the reality is there are going to be non-Christians around you. There should be. And many of you are on campuses. You are at jobs where there are non-Christians. Some of you even in your own family. It's unavoidable. We're not trying to hide from people that don't know Jesus. But at the same time, when you have people as friends, friends do have a certain amount of influence in your life. And scripture tells us that, and it teaches us to be wise about who we're around. So in order to know which friends do I keep as friends, people that I could continually and consistently be around, and which ones do I not need to do that with, I will ask a student, a college student, whoever it is that's asking me this, I will say, can you be yourself? The person who loves God and follows Jesus and not compromise around these friends. And if you can confidently look me in the eye and say, yes, I can be myself, the person who loves God, passionately pursues Jesus, and I don't feel like I have to compromise any of that in order to be around them, then yes, you can keep those non-Christian friends. However, if you feel like you have to hide the fact that you're a Christian, you feel like you get into situations often where you cannot say no, and it makes you uncomfortable, but you cannot speak up, then that is probably not the best place for you. I know plenty of people that have non-Christian friends in their life that live like people that don't know Jesus. And the friend that was talking to me, she can still be herself confidently, who loves God. She doesn't feel like she has to do what they're doing. She doesn't feel like she has to adjust who she is. She feels like she can love them well and show them the love of God well. And it doesn't put her in a situation where she feels like she has to compromise what God has told her to do and who he's called her to be.
I think that's important too, that concept of like doing what God has called you to do and who he's told her to be. Because so often I think that we go into friendships because they just happened to us.
Yeah.
Because
like you're at school,
you grew up with them, or they were your next door neighbor, or you've always known them. And then all of a sudden you're a Christian, and it's like, well, now guess what? When you become a Christian, you now have a mission. And so that mission is to help other people know Jesus. And so instead of having your friendships and going, this is just a thing that I do, realizing I actually do have a mission here. And you're kind of always on mission. You don't have to tell them about Jesus every time you see him. You don't have to throw scriptures at them, but you do want to go, hey, my goal is to help them see Jesus more. So the way that I act needs to represent that. The way that I talk needs to represent that. The way that I joke needs to represent that, because I'm the Jesus they see right now. And honestly, you may need to be around mainly Christians to get you to a place where you can live that out. But if you're on mission, I mean, God, I remember thinking this, Jesus, it says that Jesus was a friend of tax collectors and prostitutes and sinners, right? And I was just thinking about that, like they called him that, he hung around them, and just going, but Jesus was on mission. Jesus wasn't just at the club. Jesus was on mission. And so just thinking about that. Yeah, you don't need to drop all your friends. But here's the thing too. You may notice friends are dropping off if you're walking towards Jesus.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, I mean, you're not even going to try to. It's just that you're headed in a direction they're not headed. Mm-hmm. And the people that you are going in the same direction as are going to be people that come alongside you.
One of my other encouragements to the young adult that asked this, I had told her, it's also fine to have non-Christian friends. It's fine to have non-Christian friends. But I don't recommend going to your non-Christian friends for wisdom and life counsel and advice, especially if you're trying to grow in the ways of God. On purpose, going to ask people that don't know the ways of God, have no interest in obeying the ways of God, that's not going to be the place where you need to go for wisdom. So we would really encourage you to make sure that you have a balance in your life of mentors that are Christians, people in your church that you respect and look up to, pastors and leaders, and people that are friends within the house of God and within the community of God that you can go to and say, hey, I have a question about my life, and take that advice. Because we tend to think that having friendships mean we're completely vulnerable with whoever our friend is, and friendships have levels. And so being aware of what you would talk to your non-Christian friends about, like let them see that you're hurting, but let them also see that you're processing that pain with Jesus. I went to my mentor at my church and they prayed for me, and this is what I feel like God is doing for me. You know what I mean? And I would also encourage you, sometimes there's a pressure to like really like slam God down their throats and make like, you have to do this, you have to do this. You know what I mean? The reality is a lot of your non-Christian friends, even if they didn't grow up in church, even if they don't have necessarily a vast knowledge of God, there is something written upon their hearts that tells them this is wrong about the way that they're living. To a degree, I think innately in us, given to us by God, his kindness and his mercy, there's things inside of us that go, even if I don't know God yet, this feels wrong. And so you may not have to say very often or point out very often the things that your friends are doing that are counter kingdom culture, but they will watch your life and what you do, and that's going to be one of the biggest examples to them. And I just want to remove pressure from you of always having to call out their behavior or what they're doing. I would invite you to strategically go to the Lord for your friends that don't know God. Pray for them. And I believe that the Holy Spirit will open up opportunities, conversations, moments in time, situations that are far more valuable than you just chasing down everything that you think that they're doing that's wrong. But you are very strategic with God. And here's how I talk to my friends, and here's what I talk to them about. And eventually, over time, I believe you'll see great fruit from that. The friends that I know that have done this in the lives of their friends that don't know God, 98% of those friends have come to know the Lord.
Yeah, that's good. Cookies are done. We're going to grab the cookies, and then we're going to come back here and look at our mystery question here that we have in this here mason jar. And also, if this is helping you, we would love for you to subscribe, to follow. Make sure you're there when the next Q&A comes with L&J comes out. The 418 Revolution. Share it with people. Listen, if it's helping you, it'll help somebody else. So hey, sharing is caring. Let's get them cookies. Here we go. Fresh cookies, almond flour.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
I can't afford to drop a crumb.
Dun, 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 dun. I marry you again. Just for these cookies. If you comment, we'll send you the recipe, all right? All right, mystery question. Here we go. We had some people sending questions. What is the best way to get your non-saved friends to church? Invite them.
Over and over.
Over and over again. They need to know that it's a real thing for you. They need to know your faith is real for you. And if you are a good representative of Jesus, then eventually there will come a point where they go, okay, I think I want to try that. Unfortunately, a lot of times it's when life is hard. When life is good, people seem to not need God. They're like, hey, I got it taken care of. But then all of a sudden hard times hit and they go, hey, you go to church, right? And then all of a sudden it's a thing. But I would say if you're not a good representation of Christ, then they're not going to want to be a part of the body of Christ. So I think that's a big deal. What are your thoughts?
If you're not consistently attending your church, that's the first place to start. It's consistently going. I am amazed at how often people will invite somebody to church and they are so inconsistent, and that person will go with them, and it's the person they invited that stays and not the inviter that's there. Oh
my word.
It's that way so much. So I would say be faithful and consistent to church yourself. The other thing I would say is important is sometimes we hang all of our hope on church being the thing that's going to save our friends.
Listen to her right now.
And that's just not the reality. Church was actually not designed to be that. Church was designed as a corporate gathering for those that follow Jesus, to worship God, exalt God, lift up the name of God, to gather around his words, and to spur each other on in their own faith in God.
Hold on. If you don't hear anything else that we've talked about, I want you to hear this right here, what she's saying and what she's about to say. Listen, right here. Keep going.
So sometimes we hang all of our hope on, well, if I can just get them into church, they're going to get saved. But it's actually really up to you to have done the work beforehand to prepare their heart to receive what they would even experience at church.
Yeah.
I would say, if we're just hoping that they come to church to have an experience and by chance are going to get saved by whatever message it is, because how many times have we invited somebody and they're preaching on tithing, or it's like a marriage series, or you know what I mean? Not that God doesn't work in those, he absolutely does. But the reason we feel frustrated is because, again, church was not meant for people that don't believe. Those messages are specifically for the body. Those are for the people in the congregation. So it's important for you to do the work beforehand. Talk to your friends. Be intentional in your conversations. You be the one that does the work, that prepares their heart and helps them come to follow God.
Yeah.
They don't have to go to a church service in order to experience that. Not saying it's wrong to do that. Not saying you can't bring them to church in the hopes that they hear and encounter God. We see that heart, but do the work with your friends.
Yeah.
God put you in their life, and it's amazing. Like if they're going through a hard time, that is literally an opportunity for you to lead them to the feet of Jesus, the one who can help them. And wouldn't it be amazing and so much more foundational for your friend that you were the one that led them to Jesus and then brought them into a family?
Yeah.
Now, I will say this on the flip side. If you brought a friend with you to church and they get saved at church, then it is also on you to do the follow-up work.
You disciple them.
We have this belief that if I brought them to church and they got saved in church, just naturally by being in that atmosphere, they're going to change. Jesus put us in community so that we could grow within community and be discipled that way. This is how God sets things up.
Yeah.
And so there will still be work for you to do if you bring your friend to like a youth conference or something like that, like a young adult night or whatever it is. You bring them, they get saved. It's not your pastor's job to disciple that person one-on-one into relationship with God. Your pastor's job is actually to teach the word and equip the saints, the people that are following God. You are one of those people that have been equipped, hopefully in your church, to help your friend grow more and more like Jesus every day. So you have work on both sides, before and after they get saved.
Yeah. So hopefully this helped you guys. We do this Q&A with L&J because we want to make sure that there is a place for you to ask questions about what you believe, how to walk out your faith. 418 Revolution is all about, and this is who puts on this podcast, is all about helping you love God passionately and live your faith boldly. And so hopefully this did that, just helped you in one more step in that way. Again, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But again, share it with somebody else. Let them know, hey, these guys helped me out while they was baking some cookies. All right. And so we love you guys, and we're proud of you. We're excited to see what God does in your life. We'll see you next time.